Yeah. We've been doing this since like spring ball. I mean, every now and then we'll throw it in there. It's like, hey, just so you know, like we're gonna do a couple things of Army this week. We're gonna go through some game plan and stuff like that. So
very well spoken.
Yeah. So it's been emphasized for a while now, and I mean, bits and pieces during the summer too. They're like, hey, take a look at this cut up of Army, and just so you have an idea of like what we might be doing. So we had an idea going into today of like what we were gonna do, but I mean, we kind of just made sure like everything was consistent at this point. Now we have like our actual game plan, we're ready to go.
Sure. As a safety, do you like mentally think like, hey, I got to get closer to the line because I know they're running? Like, do you got to play more in the box, or how do you approach this week?
Yeah, alignments are a little bit different, just because obviously the formation is completely different.
Right. Yeah.
Going against, so yeah. I mean, so again, like you can be lower at the line of scrimmage, but you still have to have good eyes to make sure like the guy that you're on isn't releasing.
Sure.
So it's as long as you have good eyes, you can afford to kind of creep up in the box a little bit more in this type of offense.
How big is discipline going to be this week, though, against a team that may run it 20, 30 times in a row and then try and catch you off guard?
Well, not just their scheme, but I mean their culture. I mean, they're the Army West Point. They probably base they have pride off of how much discipline that they have. As a unit, as a team. So that really forces us to overemphasize discipline in your eyes and your job, and just making sure that you're doing your part, and that way 11 guys doing their part can all come together at once. That's what it really requires this week.
Do you guys have to tweak your defensive scheme a ton just from the fact that they're not going to do a lot of drop back passing? It's not an offense you can necessarily fly downhill at and attack it. It's going to be assignment sound, hat on a hat football.
Yeah, it's different. It's a different scheme. It's a different obviously a different formation, or different formations that we've never seen. So at least since I've been here, we've never gone against an offense like this. So obviously it's definitely a different game plan, different type of communication, different type of alignments. So I mean, there's going to be a lot of different things to make sure that guys, though, are still staying locked in regardless of how different your job might be this week.
And then you'll find out Saturday, but how well would you say the scout team is able to mimic what they do?
Yeah. Today was the first day, and I thought they did a great job for the first day. I mean, we have guys on the defensive side of the ball mimicking their offense. So you got different guys in different roles this week, and you can tell a lot of guys are embracing that role, and it's honestly really fun to see. We're having a lot of fun with it. The guys are giving us a good look so far, though.
Wolf playing quarterback, I'm guessing?
No, it's actually, we have Max Lopi.
Okay.
Yeah. So guys are in different roles. So I mean, it's completely different this week, with how we're preparing and how, I mean, Max is playing quarterback. It's different. So, but we're guys are embracing it. Max did a great job today, and I'm sure it's just going to keep getting better as the week goes on.
I have a couple of questions about Ches, because you guys are both transfers, become leaders of this team. Just how have you seen him do that since he got here in June? Kind of make his impact and start kind of getting that leadership role in the offense.
Yeah. Well, transferring is tough when you don't know anyone when coming in. I mean, it's a different transition for you usually like when you come into college, like you have your class that you come in with, who you've like gone on visits with. It's totally different when you transfer.
Right.
So his transition, I mean, he was a little bit more quiet when he first got here. You can kind of see his shell, he's coming out of his shell a little more. And we love Ches. We enjoy having him not only on the field making plays for us, but in the locker room. He's a joy to be around. But I mean, I thought he's been doing a great job of not only just making plays on the field for us, but just transitioning as becoming more and more of a vocal leader in the locker room too.
To that point, how important is a guy like that with what's been happening with the running back room in the last month or so, having a guy like Ches there?
Yeah. I mean, you need somebody to take the reins in that room, because I mean, obviously, like leadership is needed in that locker in that unit, and I mean, it's kind of just it's open for who wants it, like who wants to take on that leadership role. And I think I can see Ches slowly starting to, take that on, because it's tough. It's tough when you transfer, and I mean, you don't know if you're stepping on any toes. Like, you don't know who really is the leader of that group until you get here. And I can tell he's starting to figure out he can be that guy.
Sure. You being one of the leaders on the team, what's been your reaction to what's been happening there? Because it doesn't seem like that stuff's flying on one side and some stuff's happening over on the other.
Yeah, it's. I mean, again, how we've talked in the last several weeks. We handle all this stuff as a team, and I mean especially with the way that our start has been this season, it hasn't been ideal for us. And if you're not all in, then just get out. That's the mentality. And clearly you can see it's being put into action. And I think that's good for our team. I think it's good to have guys who want to be here. And at this point, we just focus on the guys who want to be here and want to make an impact for the rest of the season.
With Nick, how much do guys kind of feed off the energy he brings, specifically from a pass rush?
Yeah, he's special, especially in the pass rush. He's a special guy. I mean, even coming into last year, you kind of knew he had some screw loose in his head, and I love that about him. Though I think that's what makes him special. That's what makes him play so hard on the field. And I mean, he's willing to put his body on the line for us every single week, regardless of what he has to do. So. That's what I love about him. I love playing with that guy. I think he plays with his hair on fire, and he knows how to get to the quarterback.
When you say there's a screw loose, what do you kind of mean or see in him that makes you think that?
Oh, he's crazy. He's just a crazy guy. He if you had a chance to follow him during pregame, I mean, this guy he's in his own world, and it's I'm just going to let him be. I'm going to let him do his thing, whatever he's got to do to make sure that he's right to play and to get to the quarterback. Do what you got to do, man. But it's honestly a trip to watch him in pregame because he does some wild stuff.
Anything specifically you can share?
I mean, I don't want to take away his own privacy, but there are times where we're about to go out, and I don't think he'll get mad at me for saying this. We're about to go out onto the field, and he's literally banging his head on the wall. And I'm just hey, do what you got to do, man. That's you. That's how you prepare. That's how you get your mind right. Go, So that's just one little glimpse of what he does. I'll try to keep the rest private for him, but yeah, he's a trip. I love him to death. He's awesome.
When you guys turn the tape on Sundays and rewatch the game, or even Saturday nights, is he just one of those guys that just never takes a play off? Yeah,
no, he never takes a play off, and I think he takes pride in that he will outwork whoever he's lining up against every single play. And when he hears about other good outside linebackers that are around the country, I mean, the first thing he'll say is he doesn't play harder than I do. He takes plays off, and I don't. So he takes pride in that. I mean, every time I turn on the film, I watch our job, but the next guy that I watch is Nick. So, because he's always playing with his hair on fire.
And then you know how it is as a freshman. You don't necessarily fully grasp the playbook and the scheme. When you go out there, you're relying on your athletic ability to get you through. Yeah. That's something he said he kind of did year one. How have you kind of seen him improve as a player now that his understanding of the defensive scheme is better and maybe has a little better technique too?
Yeah. I mean, technique, he's always working on his technique. But scheme-wise, him and I, because most of the time I'm lining up on the same side that he is, and him and I are communicating a lot more fluently this year. Last year, sometimes he would kind of be in his own world, but he'd be playing with his hair on fire, and he'd still make plays for us, and that's why he's so good, is he can still make up those things by his effort. But this year, you can tell he's so much more in tune of what the play is, where the formation is, and he's always asking me, "Hey, Collin, give me a call." And sometimes I miss giving him a call, and he'll be like, "Collin, you got to give me that's something that you didn't hear last year from him, and he holds me accountable too in those things. So that's something that he's definitely improved on.